called Reach Out and Resource. Basically, what we're trying to convey is that you're going to be sitting in a classroom thinking about, oh, 5 minutes ago the lecturer said something, I'm just not quite sure, I just need it explained again. Put your hand up and ask, because 10 people sitting around you, no doubt, will have the exact same question. It happens every time that you put up your hand and ask something and everyone goes, oh, thank God. They asked the question because I was too nervous. So you should be the person that puts up your hand. Don't freak out about it. No one's going to be... Like, that's why they have seminars for languages and not lectures. Because a seminar is a working forum with a lecturer where you can speak and have responses and work through exercises and go through it one step at a time. Also, within your classroom, who else is there? The person sitting next to you. So reach out to your fellow classmates, go through Blackboard, ask questions online if you're too scared to ask them in the class yourself. Because you'll often meet someone, you'll meet, like, one of my best friends, Ralph, he's 65, I did that with him for 2 years. That's who you meet sitting next to you. So, you know, don't be scared to ask the person next to you, because, like, they're probably asking the same questions, and you can work through it together. Secondly, once you've got that fellow classmate, an excellent place to hold a study session or seek the advice of other experienced language students is the MAHA Language Assistance Group.
The PASS program.
Oh, the PASS program. Okay. All right.
You got the right one.
I may have a different one, but that's okay. It's not that program anymore. It's now changed to what we have called the PASS program. So once you've got that other person in your class, just go and speak to maybe Ellen or Evan. They are PASS leaders. It's a program that is designed by the Faculty of Arts in order to get students, even if you're not struggling, even if you just want an extra revision session with people once a week or twice a week, you can go along and do extra work that's not set by the lecturer and really reinforce those ideas that you're learning in class. And the PASS leaders run the sessions according to what you've learnt in class that week. So you're revising and you're relearning, and you're not going to be learning things that you wouldn't, that they will correspond to the lectures.
There's no extra work. It's just revision. There's no homework. You're not assessed. It's just a comfortable environment. So if you feel too nervous to talk about things in your seminars where you might have a participation mark, this is where you can come.
What does PASS stand for, Evan?
Peer-assisted study session. So it's all about learning together and helping each other out to get over those hurdles and understand concepts. But I realised that at the moment we've only got it in languages for Latin. So for the people who are doing hieroglyphics, Greek or Coptic or any other language like Hebrew, the best thing you can do, and what I did in Latin and Greek before they had those PASS sessions, was to group together with the people around you who are you're all going, oh, I didn't understand this concept, and so we would collectively approach the lecturer and go, can you explain this next time in class more clearly this way, because we just 5 of us here, we didn't understand it at all. And then outside, we would also do our own study sessions and go, so how are you going with this, this conjugation? Let's, test each other. And so we would meet up for like an hour before class and go through things that we were struggling with. And it's a great way to make friends. Like one of my best friends, I made through just becoming study partners. So yeah. Definitely recommend it. So especially for those of you who do not have a PASS session for your language. So yeah.
Hopefully coming soon.
We'll see.
Okay, next point. There's on your handout, there's a number of electronic resources. Like there's tons out there that are useful for ancient languages. I'll just point out some of the online dictionaries that you'll find if you just Google them, especially with Latin. They're not very good. So first of all, make sure you get yourself a solid dictionary to begin with as a base, so that you can always refer to something if you don't have the internet. But yeah, we'll just go through the electronic resources now. So first of all, we've got online parsers. So these are things like William Whitaker. So basically this is just a translate English to Latin parser. So you can put in any English word and get something for it. So we'll try spear.
Does everyone understand what parsing means?
Yeah, sorry, I'll run through that for a second. Parsing is when you take a word in the language that you're studying and you break it down. So you get the meaning, the stem, the ending, and usually a form of the word that is in another tense, as well as the infinitive, which is, say with a verb, it's going to be woco. So you have its first person singular, that's the Latin verb woco, just for example. It means I call, and the infinitive of it would be wakare.
So if I type in wakabam and I press that, it parses it to tell you the principal parts. So wako, wakare, wakawi, and you haven't.
Yeah, you guys won't have gotten to the last
wakadas,
two yet.
Yeah. Well, they've gotten to wakawi, but
Oh, really?
they haven't gotten to wakadas. But you see how it tells you the first person imperfect and active. You probably don't know what that is yet, but don't stress about it.
Yeah.
But you'll find this is a really useful resource, but do not use it as a crutch, okay? So this is a last resort.
Yeah. These parsers are when you've got a word, you can't find it in the dictionary, you're thinking, I have no idea what that means. You type it in and it will give you, hopefully, an answer. 9 times out of 10, you'll get lucky.
And always back it up by checking it in the dictionary.
Yeah.
So that's...
Okay. And then the next one we'll try Perseus. Yay! Perseus is my favourite.
Actually,
You need to get to the
I need
word.
to get to the last one.
Yeah.
So you can just go to... There you go.
You can also often just type word tool. It'll give you another page. So we can type in, say, for the Greek, we'll type in power.
Maybe how it's just...
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Just to give it different.
that didn't work. Let's see. Oh, am I doing this?
There we go. All right. So we've got another first singular present verb again. So you can see that it gives you all the information about the verb just there. And Perseus will often give you
A dictionary
entry, which you can click and it'll load it down here.
And just for your information, like their dictionary is really good because it's the LSJ, which is the standard reference work for Greek. So you don't need to go really to the paper version because it's exactly the same. They have to scan it in and put it in digital form.
Yeah.
So it's a great resource.
And it gives you all these different examples of how it's used in ancient texts. So if you're doing a reading, like for ancient Greek, you do readings every week, even from the beginning. You'll often find that the word that you're looking for, even if it's not in the parser, will be in one of those. So you can type in a familiar form of the word that you know, and then go for it. So yeah. The next thing that you'll see on your sheet is searchable text databases. Are we going to go through them today? No, we're not going to go through them today just because we don't have enough time. But should you ever need an entire corpus of ancient text for certain words with analysis and things like these you'll be using if you get to advanced stages of an ancient language. So if you continue on to C and D of any of the languages that you're doing, they'll come in really handy. So hang on to the document.
They're great they're great for actually applying your language that you've learned in your first year and using it in your non-language subjects in your second year, in the sense of essays that you write. You're going to be using your language. That's something that I'd stress is don't just think your language studies are separate from your ancient history essay-based subjects, because the whole point is that they're meant to inform each other. And so in your second year, you'll be able to use these databases and you'll understand them and you'll be able to use the language to create a better essay and inform those arguments that you're trying to make. Yeah.
And yeah, so moving on, the next one that you'll see is Perseus again. Perseus is not only a parser, but it also has an entire corpus of ancient texts. And often they will give you an English version and an original text version. So you can compare the two, and it's really good. So we can just scroll down to Cicero maybe.
Oops, sorry.
Does anyone know the Latin for Cicero, by the way? Anyone? It means chickpea. Oh, how cute is that?
Almost.
So do you want the Latin?
Yeah.
Do you want the Latin?
What's a whole new spiel on Cicero?
We'll take a look at the Latin just to give them a look at it. And then we can use the, so you'll find when you click on here, and then with most of these words you can usually click on this. Yeah, you can click on this word and it'll give you a part of it. So you can go through the text and any words that you don't know, click, and then bang, right there for you.
But don't rely on that completely.
Yeah, don't rely on it, because when you get to Latin C, it takes way too long to do it that way. Learn myself. Yeah, and then you can also see that there's a hieroglyphs resource, so you're welcome to look that one up in your own time as well. And Hebrew, and there's a text kit website for Greek and Latin learning tools. So it's a textbook downloadable site. Okay. And interesting fact, Perseus also has an iPhone or iPod Touch app, so you can download it. It's about $2. If you've got an iPhone or an iPod Touch, you can just sit there and parse words and be completely cool. But yeah,
It doesn't have a part. It has a. Doesn't have a parser for Greek, I don't think.
okay.
But it has the dictionary, so you can look up Paolo there, and it'll have the same entry that you just found there. So portable dictionary.
Yeah.
Not allowed to use that in...
Not in your exam, no.
No, not in
You're
your
not allowed to bring
exam.
mobile phones into exams, so you won't be able to use that.
And then over the page you'll also see a list of dictionaries that are recommended by the lecturer. Usually if you're not sure what dictionary to buy, the lecturer of your class can give you the best recommendation of what kind of dictionary they expect you to buy. So in Latin A and B it's something fairly basic like Penguin. But if you want to be able to look up further information, those aren't going to help you. So when you're looking at something like when you get to further on, you can get other dictionaries like, it's a Lewis one.
The middle Lewis one.
Yeah, middle Lewis.
The Oxford Latin Dictionary, the massive one,
Yeah.
isn't really needed until PhD study, I don't think, or honours.
You can save up for it.
Yeah, you can. Or ask.
It costs about I think about $350, so don't worry about that.
And also for hieroglyphs, I believe the only recommended text you have to have for hieroglyphs A and B is your the grammar by Ockinger. But not every single word will be in the vocab, so a really handy tip, especially for hieroglyphs B, is to get Faulkner, R.O. Faulkner's Concise Dictionary of Middle Egyptian. That will be on your bibliographical lists for hieroglyphs, but that's also a great tool, so if you get it early, it's really good.